equation of motion governing partial differential equation of motion for a Euler-Bernoulli beam. Okay, neglecting shear deformation and the rotatory inertia. Okay, if you consider that, that is called the demotion for beam theory. Okay, which is not a part of our curriculum. Okay, so we first derive the equation of motion, and that also using Newton's law, right? By drawing a free body diagram of a small differential element of length dx. We have seen the equilibriums of the forces and the moment, and using the elementary beam theory approach, we derive the differential equation, and we have seen it has a second order in time and fourth order in space. Okay, so therefore, two initial condition and four boundary condition is required to completely solve the problem. Okay, so our first aim now is to find out the natural frequencies and the mode shapes. So that is the free vibration problem, and that is nothing but, if I consider a uniform beam, then it is the fourth order differential equation EI del 4. Del 4, I think V, right? Del 4 V by del x4 plus mass per unit length, that is basically rho into A. Rho is kg per meter cube, let's say, and A is the meter square, then it's a kg per meter mass per unit length, which is also uniform. Everything I am uniform considering. And then del 2 V by del T2 is equals to 0, no force, free vibration, right? That is the free vibration. Okay, mass per unit length EI, which is constant. V is the transverse displacement of the beam. Let's say this is the beam, so V is your transverse displacement, right? In this direction, transverse displacement. X is the space in this direction, and T is the time. Okay, now I told that I'll use the variable separation technique. Okay, by virtue of, we can use that because of the synchronous motion. Okay, so you can read about that, what is synchronous motion for this case. It is similar to the kind of multi-degree freedom system also. Variable separation. Okay, that is, I am calling that V, which is a function of x as well as t. I am calling it capital V function of x, capital T function of t. Now if I substitute there, okay, so quickly tell me what you are getting if I substitute there. So now this is a function of x alone. Okay, spatial, space dependent, that is only the time dependent. Okay, so properly do the differentiation. Okay, and tell me what you are getting. Okay, last class also we did. Okay, so just same thing I am repeating here. So tell me what you are getting. So EI is there, obviously I can see. Then M, I'm just taking down. Okay, then this will be space dependent, should be V, right, in terms of, and then yeah, tell me please quickly. 1 dt4.
Sir, d to the power 4 V upon dx to the power 4
upon dx to the power 4
plus m into, oh
here
sorry, d2 d square t.
T2 will be there, right?
Yes, sir. Plus d square t plus d
plus
square
this
t
BD2 into BD, right? Vx, sorry, Vx. Okay, so now you see the partial derivative are now replaced by this. Okay, not in partial because you have taken the variable separation. The response written like this. So if I substitute there, inserting there, I'll get this. Now I am taking one side, all the parameters. I mean that space dependent, that is Vx, right? Sorry, so I have to write 1 by Vx d4 V by dx4 equals to, that will minus, then I can write 1 by dt, okay, d2t by. Similar thing we have done actually in for the, there it is not like that in the multi-degree freedom system. So you see the left hand side is only the space dependent, and this time is the time dependency. Okay, so that they can only be equal unless and until they are equal to some constant. Okay, like you do for the multi-degree freedom system. So I can write E by M, let me see, 1 by Vx. Okay, don't confuse this V with the shear force and anything. You can use any other notation. Most probably I have used in my PPTs, I think maybe Y I have used, the Y may be better. Anyway, that doesn't matter actually. Okay, as far if you understood the thing, that it doesn't matter. So d4 Vx divided by dx4 equals to 1 by dt Okay, then d2 dt by dt2, correct? So that is equals to some constant. Okay, and that constant let us consider as an omega square. Okay, why I am considering omega square? You see from the second equality. Okay, what we are getting. First, let me write this dt2 plus omega square t equals to 0. Are you able to see any resemblance with this with the single degree of freedom system equation, undamped equation, like that x double dot plus omega n natural frequency square into that x, right? That equals to 0, right? For x t j, I mean time dependency. Let us forget x for the time being, right? Q, otherwise it will be confusing, right? Similar type, right? Okay, so that is, I mean, solution we know tt is equals to some constant a cosine omega t plus b sine omega t. Okay, we do not know omega, that you have to find out. Okay, and a and b can be found out from the initial condition, coefficient from the two initial conditions on displacement and velocity. Okay, at time t equal to 0. Okay, so that is well known to us. Now the valence is that this equation that we have to treat and find out the natural frequencies and modes. What is that? M by M 1 by Vx d4 V x by dx4 is equals to omega square. Correct or wrong? Before this is omega square. Okay. So I can write d4 Vx by dx4 plus it will be minus omega square m by ei into Vx. So now we remove x because x is there, v equals to. All are agree with me? Any issue here? I'll call this at beta power 4 into v equals to 0. Beta power 4 or beta square? Doesn't matter. Beta power 4 because it's the fourth order. Okay. Let us say this is beta I am defining. So beta 4 is equals to omega square m by. Just defining, right? For convenience. Correct? Any issue with this? No issue, right? So that time dependent part is separated out. This when this becomes omega square. So that, I mean, the solution is well known to us, right? That is, we know you can find out from the inside. The remaining is this thing that now we have to handle. This is omega square. So this is this. I can write this where I have defined beta 4 as this. Fourth order ordinary differential equation. Okay. So as we did for the second order problem, so we'll assume a solution here. So let me again write this thing d4v by dx4. I am writing, I think, very big font, right? That's why too much space I am consuming. No problem. Beta 4v is equals to 0. What is beta 4? Omega square m by I. So if I can find out by solving this what is beta, okay, once I find out the roots, then I can find out omega as the beta square root over of ei by e. EIM is known to us, right? EI is the flexural rigidity of the beam, that is known to us, M is known to us. So I will find out the roots, various roots of beta, and I can find out the system natural frequency. Okay? Okay. So let us say, assume my solution Vx is equals to some constant C e raised to Sx. Right? Substitute this, then what are the roots you are getting? Tell me. What are the roots? Obviously, you get 4 roots, right? S1, S2, S3, S4. S1, S2, S3, S4. Like for the second order also, right? You remember, we substitute C raised to Sx, I mean, St that time, right? T. So there it was time variable, you remember, that is time. Yes, here it is no space, C raised to Sx. Okay. Here, assume solution, substituting in this equation. Okay. Any issue by anybody, do not hesitate to ask me. I know most of the people are understanding, but if you have any doubt, so please ask me. Okay, we are at the only few classes left, 3-4 classes. You should understood at least the basic thing about this continuous system. Okay. So what are the roots?
Minus beta and plus or minus I beta.
So beta minus beta like that, right? Plus
Yes.
I beta minus I beta, correct? Okay. Previously, remember we were getting something like that, plus minus I something, right? Okay, that previously we are getting that. Now we are getting also some real roots also. So 4 roots are there. So the general solution I can write Vx is equals to some constant C1 hat, let's say, then e raised to beta x, C2 hat e raised to minus beta x, C3 hat some just constant. C3, C, you can say ABCD because AB I have used. You can use PQRS or whatever, plus I beta x plus C4 hat e raised to minus I beta x. Agree? These are the 4 roots I got by substituting my assumed solution in this ordinary differential equation, 4th order. I substitute for beta, I am assumed like this, beta 4 is this, I assume. So once I obtain beta from this equation, I can find out my natural frequencies. Okay, that I will discuss now. Okay, 4 roots, general solution is like this. Okay. Now using the trigonometric identity like we did for the last time. So last time for the time problem we have found like this, right? This part only e raised to I omega t and then e raised to minus I omega t, remember? Okay, so now here also the real thing is there, so that will lead to the hyperbolic function. These are the sine and cosine function, then these will lead to the hyperbolic function. Okay, I hope you know this relationship. Okay, that this you already know, that is I beta x. There remember I omega t e raised to I omega t is equal to call that cos omega t plus I sin omega t, and e raised to minus I omega t is cos omega t minus I sin omega t. So here it is x space, it is a space equation in space, right? So that I can write cos beta x plus minus I sin beta x, that you already know. Now this also you can check it, or you might know that it can be written in the cos hyperbolic beta x plus minus cos sine hyperbolic beta x. Okay, if you forget, you just check it. Okay, search in the internet also you can find out. Okay, with this thing is known to you that the cos hyperbolic is the e raised to, tell me what is cos hyperbolic x, I forget. And then e raised to beta x will be beta x minus or plus, check it, minus beta x by 2, and sine hyperbolic beta x will be e raised to beta x plus e raised to minus beta x divided by, I mean in general cos hyperbolic theta will be e raised to theta minus e raised to minus theta by 2, and here hyperbolic theta will be, sine will be e raised to theta plus e raised to minus theta by 2. Let's just check the sign if it is correct.
So in sine it's negative and cos it is positive.
Okay. It is correct. Wait like this. You checked it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. No issue. So that means, so you can, what I am trying to say is that this expression basically, like in the last time we write this in cos and sine form. Okay, so that also, this also you can write in terms of sine, cos, I mean in beta x as well as hyperbolic terms. Okay, trigonometry and hyperbolic term you can write it. Okay, so what I am getting here basically is that Vx is equal to some new constant, right? You will get not C1 hat, same will not remain, some new constant sine beta x plus C2 cos beta x plus C3 sine hyperbolic beta x plus C4 cos hyperbolic. 4th order equation, 4 constant, unknown constant. Okay, I will use now 4 boundary condition. This is a boundary value problem, right? Typically a boundary. 4th order differential equation in space X. Assume solution, substitute here, roots are these. This is the general solution. I can express these, all these in terms of sine, cosine, and trigonometric and hyperbolic expressions, and I am getting like this. Okay, Vx. So 4 unknown constants C1, C2, C3, C4. Okay, then I will apply the boundary conditions. Okay, there are 4 boundary conditions, 2 on each support. So let us say first case, simple case is the simply supported beam. Supported. Okay. Simply supported beam. Okay, so here the slope and displacement, vertical displacement, the slope will be 0, and here also will be 0, right? So that is V, if it is x equals to 0, if it is x equals to L, if it is the length is L is the length of the beam, then V at 0 at any time t equals to 0, correct? That leads to capital V at x equals to 0 is 0. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Right, because V is what? V is nothing but small v xt is equals to capital Vx into dt. So small v 0 t is equals to V 0 dt. This is 0, 0 into dt. So this is in general not 0. Okay. So V0 is 0. That is why written. So similarly, I can write that's the slope, right? That is actually it is del small v by del x, that is equals to 0, right? Okay. Sorry, slope. I mean, what I'm talking. This is the continuation. This is the bending moment should be 0, right? Okay.
Yes, sir. T
Yeah,
square.
yeah, you should correct me, right? Okay. Here the bending moment should be 0. That is EI del 2 V by del x2. Okay. Evaluated at x equals to 0 should be 0. So let me write it here. EI del 2 V by del x2 evaluated at x equals to 0 should be 0. So that will lead to actually I can say that d2 now d2v by dx2 evaluated at x equals to 0. Correct? Agree with this? Similarly, here on the other side, v at L equals to 0, I can find out, and d2 capital V by dx2 evaluated at x equals to L should be 0. Okay. Any issue? Let me fresh it up on the other side. So Vx, writing again and again, sine beta x, C2 cos beta x, C3 sine hyperbolic beta x, plus C4 cosine hyperbolic beta x. Okay, four boundary condition. So I am considering first simply supported. Okay, boundary condition I got at x equals to 0 what? V0 0, and another is d2 Vy dx2 evaluated at x equals to 0 0. Another is v at L equals to 0, and d2 Vy dx2 evaluated at x equals to L is 0. So what are these boundary conditions I talked about yesterday, and what are these, what category?
The first one is essential, second is not.
Essential boundary condition, essential or geometric boundary condition or Dirichlet boundary condition, and this is the force boundary condition or what Newman boundary condition or something was there. Okay. That is good. So essential boundary condition or geometric boundary condition this set, and these are the force boundary condition or the Newman boundary conditions. Okay. So now apply these four boundary conditions here, and what are the equations you are getting? Tell me one by one. So apply this one first. Easy to apply, right? Okay. Then this is will be easy, or which one will be easy? Just check it. So basically you'll get four expressions. So tell me that four expressions. Please note it down. Vx. Okay. C1 is sine beta x plus C2 cos beta x plus C3 sine hyperbolic beta x plus C4 cosine hyperbolic beta x. Okay. And use these four boundary conditions. So these are boundary conditions associated with a simply supported beam. Okay. And tell me the four expression. I mean that four equation you get, right? Tell me that equation. Please everybody do it. Any doubt so far by anybody? Do not hesitate to ask. Any doubt? Very poor attendance. Only 60 people. Any doubt? No problem as such. Yes, so what are the four equations? Can you tell me? Anybody please?
So two equations I've got, two I am calculating.
Tell me two equations at least.
So C2 plus C4 equals to 0.
Okay.
C2 plus C.
So and second C4 minus beta square C2 equals to 0.
C4 minus
Beta square C2.
beta square C2.
Yes, sir.
Beta square. What is the
So I'm
beta
getting beta square C4 minus beta square C2.
Huh?
I'm getting beta square C4 minus beta square C2.
So that means this is removed because beta square cannot be 0, right? That is, I can write in that one minus C2 plus C4 equal. Is this what you are trying to say?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Two more equations. Four boundary condition applying four equations. These are the four boundary condition applying to this shape Vx. So someone told C4 minus beta square C2. He has corrected, right? Minus C2 plus C4 equal to 0. Are you getting? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Actually, I forgot to take beta there.
Okay. Tell me the third and fourth equation.
So I'm getting only question as C1 sin beta L plus C2 cos beta L.
C1 sin beta L plus
C2 cos beta L.
C2 cos beta L.
Yes, sir.
So C2 we can take 0.
No, like four equations, sir.
Tell me.
Sir, I am getting C1 sin beta L plus C3 e to the power L minus
No, no, tell me in terms of sine and hyperbolic or sine beta L cos
So
beta L.
C3 sin hyperbolic BL beta.
Sine hyperbolic beta L.
So C3 sin hyperbolic plus C4 cos hyperbolic beta.
Oh, cos hyperbolic beta. No. Okay, yeah, you tell me, but from this equation actually you get C to C4 equal to 0, right?
Yes, sir. Then you then this two will be equal to this. But you will yeah,
Correct?
C4. Yes.
What is the fourth?
So minus C1 sine beta L
Hmm.
plus C3 sine H beta L.
Hyperbolic beta L equals to 0. So all are getting this expression. Substituting after C to C4 is 0, right? But if you solve this equation very straightforward, you will get C to C4 equal to 0. So, and applying the remaining two boundary conditions, I'll get this. Okay? So for non-trivial solution, this can be in the matrix from what? It will be sine beta L, sine hyperbolic beta L. Or you can directly solve it actually. This, you can directly solve it, okay? But it is the standard approach to write it in the matrix vector form 0, 0. So now already C to C4 0, so this cannot be 0, then on Vx equals to 0, right? So for non-trivial solution of this, the determinant of this has to be 0. And determinant of this if is 0, then I will get, so basically sine beta L sine hyperbolic, this is also the same thing, so 2 sine beta L sine hyperbolic beta L equal to 0. 2 sine beta L sine hyperbolic beta L equal to 0, this cannot be 0. If this is 0, then again it will be a trivial solution. So sine beta L equal to 0. Agree? This is called the characteristic equation. Any issue? Any issue? Okay. What is the solution? Beta L
Equals to n pi.
n pi. So let us use R pi because we are using arith mode, right? R pi. So beta RL, arith solution, R pi. R equals to 1, 2, so on, so forth. So what is beta R? So from that, tell me quickly. Beta RL, everybody agree with me, right? Remember what is beta expression? Beta is equals to what? Beta 4 is omega square root over of I by A or M by I. Beta 4 is omega square M by I. M by I. So what is, tell me what is omega R?
So root over omega.
Huh? Oh, sorry. What is omega R? Any doubt so far? So I got the characteristic equation or frequency equation sine beta equal to 0. Okay. Very interesting now. We are already almost there to finding out the natural frequency. The remaining is the mode shape, and that we are doing for simply supported beam. Exact solution. Okay. That is only possible for simple type, uniform type of beam. Otherwise, it will be quite difficult. Then you have to go for the approximation.
Sir,
What is
n pi by L root over m ei by m.
what omega r equals to?
N pi by L.
In r pi by, right?
Yes, sir, r pi by L into root over ei by m.
So everybody getting this? Everybody getting this? Come on. Please verify. Any other people?
So I'm getting r pi by L square.
R pi by, that is R square pi square by L square. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Anybody else? Please verify why different people different.
So even I'm getting R square by square by square.
So please check where I tell R pi by L over I by. Okay. So this I have the characteristic equation. I am again going back and repeating here. So this is my solution. Okay. Of that fourth order ordinary differential equation. Okay. So I have assumed the solution as some constant into e raised to sx. Then find out the roots. Remember that s1, s2, s3, s4. Then I got the, let me go back again. So s1, s2, this is the general solution. And I already told that this you can express in terms of the sine and cosine hyperbolic, and these are in terms of the sine function and cosine function. That is this. Okay. If you do that, you can write in this form where C1, C2, C3, C4 are the some different constant which can be found out from the boundary condition. So I am first considering the simply supported beam, simplest case. Okay. This is a beam supported at x equals to 0 and x equal to L. So these are my boundary condition. 4 boundary condition, 2 essential boundary condition, and 2 force boundary condition. Now I will incorporate the boundary condition in my solution, general solution, and to obtain C1, C2, C3, C4. So I obtained that C2, C4, 0, and from other I got the non-trivial solution for sine beta equal to 0, whose solution is beta RL. For the rth solution is R pi. Okay. So R equals to 1, 2, 3. Okay. So, and I already assumed, right, that beta 4, this is just an assumption, I mean just a consideration, that omega, for simplicity, beta 4 power 4 equals to omega square m by e. Let me go back again where I have assumed, yes, here, right, actually I am getting this term, so this term I have assumed that beta raised to 4 to resemble this, the fourth order equation. Okay. So that I am just, because beta is, not important to us, right? Okay. Finally, our product, I want the omega, that is the system natural frequency. Okay. So now I am just doing it. So beta RL is R pi, and beta to the power 4 is here actually this. So beta R to the power 4 is also omega R square, like that. So I can write omega R equals to R square plus square is equal to root over of EI by N. Okay. Correct. So we got the natural frequency. Omega R equals to R square pi square by L square into root over of EI is known to you, M is known to you, L is known to you. This is a constant. We will put R equal to 1, first natural frequency. R equal to 2, second natural frequency. R equal to 3, third natural frequency. So on so forth through infinity. Continuous system. Okay. So what is omega 1? Tell me. Pi square L square EI by N. Right? Omega 2 will be 4, right? 4 pi square L square into root over of EI by N. That is basically 4 into omega 1. Okay. Omega 3 equal to 9 pi square by L square EI by N. That is equals to 9 omega 1. Am I right or wrong? Here, so these are natural frequencies. Infinite number of natural frequency you can find it. Now remaining the mode shape. Now go back to our expression for Vx. Okay? Correct? So what do you obtain? C2, C4, 0. And what is 0? C1 or C3? Which one is 0? Tell me.
So C2, C4.
C2, C4, 0, and another one is 0. I think hyperbolic one. C3 is 0. Because sine hyperbolic x cannot be 0, so C3 is 0. Right? Okay. Agree or not? Or confused?
Sir.
No confusion, right? C2, C4 to 0 obviously. Now if you consider sine beta n equal to 0, put it in equation this one, right? What will you get? C3 has to be 0, right? Because this cannot be 0. Okay? Okay. So Vx. Vx equals to, so if I call it rth mode, so Vr is equal to, I'll call some constant Cr, and just resembling that mode. Vr, rth mode C into sine what? Sine beta R into x, right? X. Not x dot, sorry. What are you writing? All others are 0. Only the sign beta Rx is remaining, right? That one. That is this one. This part is correct. So I am calling that the arith mode is some constants here. Doesn't matter. Okay, in the sign beta Rx. Because arith mode, because beta R is nothing but that one, right? Beta R is related to this one. That the system nascent frequency actually, right? You can substitute here. No matter. Okay. Clear? So now, what is beta R? Beta R is R. Beta R L is R pi. So beta R is equals to R pi by L, right? R pi by L. R pi by L. So Vrx is equals to some constant Cr into sine R pi x by L. R equal to 1, 2, 3. So this is some constant, right? Constant multiplier. Okay. Remember, your mode shape is not unique. I'm sorry, shape is unique, but I mean it is, you can any scalar multiplier, it is not affecting the mode shape. Remember the mode shape vector, let's say u1, you are getting 1, 2, 3, let's say 3 degree of freedom system. If someone write mode shape like this, 2, 4, 6, he is also correct. He or she is also correct. This is correct, this is correct. Because any scalar multiplier is not affecting the mode shape of the vibration, right? Okay. Right, that's why we normalize it, right? To make it unique, we normalize with respect to the mass matrix. That's why that U1 transpose MU1, we get a constant, I mean some 1, right? Mass normalized. Okay. To make some uniqueness. That's why the normalization thing is come. So here also you can normalize it and find out this constant. Okay. Right. So here this is called the eigenfunction. So they are previously it was eigenvector, right? Because these are called the eigenvector for multi-degree freedom system. It's called the eigenfunction. Because it's a function, it is like just a continuous function, right? Sine R pi x by L. Continuous function of x. Arith mode. Okay. Now, how to find out this CR? Similar procedure, like we do for the what is called multi-degree freedom system, right? Okay. What is that similar procedure to discuss? Now, before that, tell me whether you have any doubt till now. That is just a normalization. Okay? Nothing else. Any issue? Okay. So now, how we normalize the mode shape for the multi-degree freedom system? Can you tell me quickly? How we normalize it for the multi-degree freedom? So here we what we got, Vrx is equals to Cr sine R pi x by L, R equal to 1, 2, so on, so. So how we must normalize it? Let's see on to must normalize it. How we do for the multi-degree freedom system?
Using orthogonality.
So U1 transpose M, U2 will be some value, and then divided that, like root of that you will divide with this.
U1 transpose U1 transpose M U1 will be some value, right? Non-zero value.
Yes, sir.
You will divide it by 1 by that value, right?
Yes, sir.
Remember that we do for any arith mode, UR transpose M into UR, if you do, you'll get some MR, RR or MR, whatever you call, modal mass, arith modal mass. Then you will do 1 by root over MR into UR, that will give you the mass normalized arith eigenvector. Mass normalized arith eigenvector and modes. Okay. Similar procedure you will do it. But here it is not like a vector, it is a continuous function. So integration. Okay. So normalizing eigenvector, so it will be over the whole length of the beam. Okay. It will be what is the CR square, right? So with respect to the mass, so CR I have to normalize such that it becomes 1. Mass normalization. So M into this square actually. I mean, you see this into this, it's like a square, right? M. So mass per unit length into Vrx. Forget about x. Square dAx equals to 1. Are you getting any similarity type of thing is there? So I have to make it 1. Okay. So first of all, you integrate it and tell me what you are getting. Okay. You can do the integration and you see what you are getting, then you just divide it by whatever you are getting. Or if I put directly, I can put it here the CR, then I mean VR square. If I can directly got it from here also, 0 to L M CR square sine square R pi x by L dx equals to 1. Then I can find out directly CR, that coefficient actually I get it. And basically this factor, multiplying factor, what I have to multiply with this eigenvector to make it normalized. So let's say this multiplying factor is CR here in this case. Okay, and I can do it. The similar type of you are transpose M here. Here it is the matrix vector, right? So that's why you are transposing here. Here it is a eigenfunction instead of eigenvector. So it is M into that VR square x square dx. You have to set it to 1. That's all, right? Basically similar to doing like, let's say I have to multiply this vector as a factor called some CR. So I'll CR here, CR here, so you'll get some CR square, right? So that CR will be 1 by root over m. Understood? Here order is the same. Any issue? Any issue? Who do not understood? Let me again explain quickly. Okay. So for the multi-degree of freedom system, you know that if I do U1 transpose, UR transpose M into UR, you will get some value of MR, modal mass. So let us say I have to multiply my mode shape or eigenvector by a factor CR to get this side 1. That is the mass normalization, right? UR transpose M UR equal to 1, that is the mass normalization. So let us say I have to multiply my vector. So this will give you, this vector will give you the mass normalization, modal matrix. I mean, sorry, mass normalization mode shape, arith mode shape. Okay. So if you substitute this, I mean, the new vector like, okay, so the new modified mode shape, so you'll get CR square as this MR, right? Okay. So your CR will be 1 by root over, I mean, that CR that will get 1 by root over MR. Okay, if you do the operation CR into this CR, we'll get this. Okay, not CR square cutting. That you can check. I have already discussed, right, during the multi-degree.
So 1 by under root mn.
Yeah, 1 by under root MR you will get. So similarly, here I am taking the same thing. Okay, but integration, not like matrix vector operation. Okay. Any doubt here? Basically this operation, so CR square UR transpose MUR will be 1, right? Okay, and this is some MR. Okay, correct? So if I divided this equation with this equation, so I'll get CR square equal to 1 by MR. So this is 0. CR is equals to 1. Okay, so that means I have to multiply by this factor to my eigenvectors to get the mass normalized mode shape. Okay, again repeating, this is mode shape I am getting without mass normalization. So I'll get some value of MR. Let us say I have to multiply this eigenvector to by CR to get the mass normalization. So this operation if I do, I'll get 1, right? Okay. So then this divided by this will give you this. Okay, I get CR equal to 1 by root over. And in this factor I have to quantity I have to multiply to this eigenvector to get mass normalization. Similarly here also, okay, so M VR square dx equals to 1. The square is coming, right? So instead of that transpose this thing, here it is the integral. So please do the integration and tell me what is CR. Quick.
So 1 by under root ml.
So root 2 by m, sir.
Second, okay. What is CR you are getting?
Root 2 by m.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Correct.
So your mass normalized mode shape, arith mode shape will be root over of 2 by ml sine r by x. Got it? So it is varying as a sinusoidal. Now I can plot it. So what will be my mode shape? Simply supported plane. Okay. Let me go to the slides only. Where is the slides? Okay. First modes, second modes, third modes. You are understanding, right? Although there is infinite number of degrees of freedom, it's very, very difficult to be vibrate a beam in like this mode. This is the simplest fundamental mode. First frequency, second mode, third mode. A number of nodes is the cutting crossing point is again mode number -1. Right? This I have already discussed. Okay, and you can find out where this crossing is. Okay, by setting it to 0. What for what value of x? This is the x, right? And this is your y direction where v x is the transverse displacement. Properties of MEI, length of the beam is L. Okay, I have used yx, you see y, okay, instead of v. So can you tell me what is this point? It is x by 2 or is it x by 3 or anything else? I mean n by 3, sorry. What is this distance? What is this distance? That you can just directly check L by 2. Is it correct? Let's check it. L by 2. I think so, right? Use a substitute here. X equals to L.
L by 2.
Yeah, so it will be L by. And this is L by 3 or anything else?
L by 3, sir.
So similarly, you can find out any number of modes. Okay. So remembering my frequency equation, frequency omega r square pi square by L square root over of EI by. Okay. And mode safe is here it is VR, YR, X, YR, let me write YR equals to that CR some constant. That doesn't matter. I mean, if you multiply it with the shape, it will be like this, or something like that. The shape just. Okay. So root over must normalize this thing. Okay. Sine R by X by 3. Okay. So in the next, that is in the next week, we'll discuss about another boundary condition, that is the cantilever beam. Okay. And we'll find a little bit complicated situation there. Okay. I mean, in terms of solution. Okay. We'll find that the frequency equation. What is the frequency equation here? This one. What is gone? In the slides, I cannot find out this one. Or characteristic equation, because it's getting the frequency, right? So this is the frequency equation. The simple, right? Sin beta L equal to 0, and you told that beta R L equals to R pi. In 1 second you told, right? But for cantilever beam, we will find that this will not be such a straightforward equation. This will be a transcendental equation. Okay, so the iterate will be solved. Okay, transcendental equation. Okay, then if you solve that, you'll get again the natural frequency as motion. So that we'll talk about in the next class. Okay, about the cantilever beam. Okay. And once that finished, the next class we'll talk about the orthogonality of the mode shapes. So these mode shapes are again orthogonal to the mass matrix, orthogonal to the stiffness matrix, as we discussed for the multi-degree freedom system. Okay. Okay. Fine. I'll stop it here. Thank you.